Let's talk. My name is Toya. Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Cillas from my 600-pound life. But before we do that, first of all, I just want to thank you to all my new subscribers. Y'all out here showing out. Thank you. Y'all is building a community. We building a community. We doing it. It's happening. Last time I talked to y'all, there was 3 different casts from 600-pound life that had made contact with my page down below. But to date, it's 4. We out here doing it. So far, there's Destiny, Tiffany, and Lacey. And then there's still this mystery person I haven't done a review on, but that's coming shortly. But I'll leave the links down below. But y'all, we growing, we getting bigger, we expanded. So you never know. You leave a comment, the person that you're commenting about just might see it. But anyway, let's talk about Cillas. Now, I admit, when I first seen that it was a guy, I was happy from the start because it's just me. But I feel like the guys be direct. They don't be fighting with Dr.Now. They don't be going back and forth with Dr.Now. They be straightforward. I mean, for the most part, there's definitely some cases that was not the case. But when I see guys, I'm like, okay. And he did not disappoint at all. Honestly, I'm going to say from the beginning, I feel like from here on out, anybody that want to get on my 600-pound life, they are required to watch Cillas' story. And they must recite Cillas' story and know all the details and facts of his journey. Because I feel like it was so inspirational and it was so inspiring. And you should want to follow that example if you're going to be on the show. That's my requirement going forward for the show. But anyway, let's talk about Cillas. Now, this is a 35-year-old gentleman from Oklahoma. He lived with his girlfriend, Jessica, and their 3 daughters. And so the scene, it started, and he was in the bed. He was in a hospital bed. And he was bedbound. We found out he had been bedbound for over 2 years, which he didn't look bedbound to me. And I was kind of caught off guard at first. I'm like, he moving around that bed pretty good. It didn't seem like he was bedbound. But he was, and he was on oxygen. And his daughter would come in every morning, open up the blinds so he can get ready. And then his girlfriend, Jessica, would proceed to give him food and feed him all the day long. Now, I want to say something about Jessica. She went from being the worst enabler to being the best support person. So I feel like they both was a great example of, look, we at the bottom. We got to change. And they did. They did that thing. So get back to the story. So he actually had a personal care assistant that comes in a couple times a week, help change him. He has oxygen, probably change his oxygen tank and do all that other kind of stuff to keep him clean. Because he said he gets skin infections and he could, get bed sores and all kind of things pretty easy. And he did not want his family taking care of him. So he had a personal care assistant that comes in, helps out with that. Now let's talk about his history. It was just him and his mom for a long time, just the 2 of them. And then when he turned, I think like 7, he said his mom married someone else. And then he had a stepdad, but he never quite fit in with that. And he actually never ever met his dad. Said that his dad already had a family, and him and his mom, it kind of was one night thing at a restaurant after a bar or something. We don't know, but he never ever got a chance to meet his father. So at age 13, I believe he said he was already 300 pounds. And it was just so many problems in the household. He never felt like he belonged. He didn't feel like he was getting enough love. So he moved away and moved in with his grandmother. Now, after he had been living with his grandmother, he did let them know, like, hey, I really want to meet my dad. And the grandmother got in touch with that aunt, who got in touch with somebody, and the dad came back and was like, I don't want nothing to do with him. So again, this kid got rejected again. He dropped out of high school, age of 16. I believe he said he was like 400 pounds. Skip to his mid-20s. He said, look, I got to change something. I got to do something different. So he did. He moved back home to Oklahoma, and he said that's when the best thing that ever happened to him happened, which when he met his girlfriend, Jessica, and her 3 kids, her 3 daughters. So he said he always had the family that he always wanted. Things was going good. He got him a job. But then he got another job, and he pretty much was sitting all day as a truck driver, gained a lot of weight. He got fired, and then he pretty much ended him bedbound for the last couple of years because he just continuously was picking up weight. Now, I think this journey also needs to be dedicated to the EMTs, the firemen, because they played a huge part in this story as well. So month 1, they get a van, and the EMT fireman had to come get him out the house, put him in the van to go. Now, mind you, he's also on 24-hour oxygen. So they get him in the van. He made it 4 good hours. I thought that was good. So they had to call the EMT, take him into the hotel. Of course, the next day, same thing. EMT, get him back in the van. So they finally make it to Dr. Now at the hospital. Dr. Now, they're waiting for him at the hospital. Dr. Now sees him, and he's like, boy, I think we're going to be in trouble. They get him into the hospital right off the bat. Dr. Now's like, I'm sure we're going to have to admit you, but we need to check, make sure there's nothing going on with you. They did. They keep him overnight. Come to find out, he has infections pretty much everywhere. You know, skin infections, breakdowns. And Dr. Now's like, if you wouldn't have got here when you did, I don't know what would have happened to you. I really don't think you would have survived much longer. So, I mean, it's just amazing, too, like how they just so happened to catch them like right before his body just completely starts to shut down and break down. And I think you could see that too. Like you could see his progression from the very beginning to the very end. Like in the beginning, if you take notice, he could never even sit up. Like even he was eating laying down. He had to lay on his side with the oxygen. Like you never saw him in an upright position. Even his youngest daughter had never even seen him stand up. Didn't even know how tall he was. And so his case was just such a great progression of when body is literally about to break down into coming back into being a functional, healthy individual. So I think that was so neat to see. Anyway, where was I at? Yeah, so month 1. So they get in the hospital. He weighs in hospital bed because he can't get up. 738 pounds. And he tells Dr. Now, like, look, I'm going to be your best success story. Dr. Now, like, yeah, I heard that before. Why are you going to be my success story? Whatever makes you even think you could be my success story. He's like, well, I got a girlfriend. I got 3 beautiful children that I need to do this for. Dr. Now was like, well, okay, well, do it. You need to do it. He's like, because you don't have much time left. So whatever motivation that you could find to do it, now's a good time to find it. So he stays in the hospital for 1 month. And during that time, the goals were to get off. The doctor really wanted him to start weaning off the oxygen, want him to get up, and the ultimate goal, want him to get up and get into a wheelchair. So he stays into the hospital 1 month. He loses 138 pounds. So then he got transferred to rehab, where he stays at rehab for a month. And I believe he lost like 73 pounds, something like that. And doctor gave him a goal. He's like, look, you're going to go home. It's going to be harder when you get home. But since all the good progress you've been doing, you can do it. He's like, but I'm going to give you 2 months to lose 70 pounds, low carb, high protein. I want you to be exercising. You need to get off the oxygen. You need to get up and be able to get in a wheelchair. So he goes home. It seems like he's doing good. It seems like, you know, Jessica, his girlfriend, is on board. Everybody on board. The cameras didn't catch him doing nothing. You know, he wasn't eating nothing bad. Didn't seem like it. So he goes back to Dr. Now. 2 months later, he lost 5 pounds. This is why I say I was happy when I seen a man. Because men are so like, and basically, I mean, he got all emotional. I believe we seen a tear. And he was just like, I'm so disappointed in myself. I literally wasted 2 months. This could have been 2 months of progress I could have been making. And now it's just 2 months of wasted time. And I'm disappointed in myself. I'm sorry. I'm going to do better. Obviously, I've been eating too much. I got to do better. And guess what? Next scene, it showed him, it looked like it was a YMCA. They joined the YMCA. He started doing water aerobics. He said they tightened up his food and he was going to do better. Fast forward 2 months, he goes in. I believe he lost 51 pounds, 51 or 53 pounds. And he was really disappointed in himself. He was like, you know what? I should have been I should have been eating less. He was just disappointed that he didn't make the goal. But Dr. Now was like, look, you able to get up. You a lot mobile. He's like, I can see the progress that you're making. I'm going to go ahead and schedule you for surgery. He's like, but I'm going to do it in 1 month. And then that 1 month time, I want you to keep losing weight. You got to lose 25 pounds. And I need you to get off that oxygen. So he's like, okay, I'm going to do it. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do it. So now we're at month 8 and he goes in for surgery. Sure enough, he lost the 27 pounds and he has the surgery. He has the vertical sleeve gastrectomy. After that, I mean, it's really downhill for Cillas. I mean, he did amazing. He kept hitting goals, kept hitting the goals. He was getting up. At the end, they show him out with his family. In month 10, he proposed to Jessica. So I guess that would be his fiance now, or they could be married by now. But anyway, after that, I mean, he was a real success story. He had lost 122 pounds since surgery, a total of 416 pounds. And he was 313 pounds. He lost more than what he was weighing. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been fighting around with these last 20 pounds. And this man that lost 416 pounds in 1 year. So inspirational. So, I mean, that is really it. Unless somebody can prove me wrong, I don't think we've seen 416 pounds in 1 year. If there has been somebody that did it, drop the name below. But I do think he may have gotten the title of the biggest success story to date. 416 pounds. I mean, come on. He ended at 313 in a year? Stay tuned for the Dear Cillas, where it's going to be addressed to him. And we're just going to be a safe place where you can leave a comment and hopefully he'll be able to see it. But it's nothing else really to say. I mean, this story spoke for itself. I was glad for it, especially after last week. I was glad for it. I was glad to see it. Thank you, Cillas, for sharing your story with us. I'm out of here.
Please subscribe to my mommy's video. Please just find your name. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.